with Beasty and Demu, I feel like you have two players that are good at playing standard, but with Beasty, I feel like he might be a little bit more try-hard in a lot of the ways. Because Demu, he practices on stream.
We know Marine Lord's opinion on ranked games as practice in general. He does no ladder at all. It is all customs.
And see, this is what I think the difference is. For the last EGC tournament, we saw Beasty take the crown, finally dethroning the Marine Lord. And he's been very prominent in all the other cups in KPMM every week. So he's definitely the clear favorite to go into this. But I feel like the guy he's up against, Mr. Demu, he can capitalize on any small mistake you make. So let's just see if Demu is going to be able to push right through and show Beasty who's the boss.
Yeah, let's see what these guys are cooking right now. We do see we have Four Lakes Coastal, we have Gorge, and we have Lipany going as our map draft.
Ooh.
And no surprises, no Roos, and no Zushi.
But are we seeing them picks? Who do you think won the draft? Twitch chat, this one's for you. So let's go see. We have Beasty side where we have JD, English, Ayubids, Malians, Byzantines, and China. I feel like that's a pretty strong lineup as far as the recent civilizations go.
China first pick, not surprising. We do have the Byzantines still very stable, and Mali, of course, right now pretty strong. We don't see English as much prioritized anymore, and Ayubid we saw used beautifully in Nagari by Valdemar, doing a good job on those hybrids, and it's also on a good timing civ. And we do have Jenny as the other option for Four Lakes potentially.
Now I feel like Demu did get some really big power civs from Beasty himself. Picking away that HRE definitely must feel quite heavy, because losing HRE, it's a civ that is so adjustable, and it's something where Beasty is famous for. We know his HRE. People fear the HRE, and it being on the other side, that must be scary.
Have you been influenced and picking a lot of HRE over the last year, maybe? I feel like I can hear some bias there.
I am an HRE enjoyer purely because I believe emergency repairs are the repairs from the gods. It's what we all deserve. It's when you are dying, when you've accidentally forgot to put your villagers inside a TC, when the knights are under there. There is forgiveness with emergency repair. So I'm a very biased HRE player, I might say.
I feel disgusted, and I will refrain from commenting further.
As a German, you should feel that heavy connection to the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh, I am very connected to this draft. Look at that. We've got the HRE, we've got OTD going there. We have Japanese as the hybrid option once again, and we've got Delhi Mongol Abbasid. We do see the first map going up right now, and we do see Beasty playing the Delhi there in the bottom spawn, and Demu going up with the Chinese.
Now, honestly, I feel like a lot of us may have been so surprised to see those picks being taken away from Beasty, but now everything making more sense on the side, now that we know exactly what these boys have picked. Beasty now on the Delhi. Now, the Delhi is pretty decent on the map we see in front of us here, because we know dry Arabia, normal types of Arabia, not wet, not too barren, enough sheep over there, but the woodlines here do help for, you know, a little bit of a later survival. Demu is playing a civ, though, that a lot of people are fearing. And China is right there next to Zushi, and people are a little bit spooked magooked by it.
It's that extreme tempo play that China can bring right now. You just immediately go to the feudal age up with the academy. If against a civ, especially like Delhi, that takes a moment to get going, you are just already on the map, taking the food resources, which was the big Achilles heel of Chinese players before. And you just have that pro scout going, and you're safe as houses.
That's the thing about China. China, I feel like they're in such a good position in the meta. They are able to fight on any piece of land, in any composition you go for, but they also dictate the pace of the game. Just purely because they have these bonuses. With the Imperial officials, you get dominance so quickly in the gold department. So even if you do get forced off of some resources, you can easily survive and get ahead again. And that's what Delhi is really good at. Delhi is good at pressuring. I feel like Beasty does have a civilization now that can deal with those early professional scouts, because with Delhi, you get that first Ghazi Raider out at the speed of light, and you should be able to shut down any scouts that Demu might be thinking about.
Yeah, we see the Academy coming up right now for those discounted IOs. On the other side, no surprises. We've got the Dome of Faith going up with 4. It is the preferred landmark right now, just because of that big tempo spike. You can play with the Mars Scholars if you get a leg up on the Sacred Sides and you can get that Age-up rolling.
Now, the Dome of Faith, keeping in mind, guys, that thing with scholars, it confuses most people when you see the military value, because you're like, wow, that's a very chunky army from Delhi. But you realize 10 scholars are part of it, because every bit of gold they get has been placed alongside. Now, Imperial Academy about to finish. We're going to be seeing that IO pop out pretty early on, I believe. And this is going to make it look like Demu is a villager ahead, because it does count for an eco unit. But with the IO, he's going to be able to supervise, get those upgrades so quickly. And Beasty is going to need to be able to deny and be aggressive. Now, you can see he has a lot on wood. He has 7 on wood right now. He wants to get that stable out as quickly as possible. And once the age up hits, let's see if he instantly goes into professional scouting.
Yeah, Demu still already has the mill up, is supervising it as we speak, and he doesn't need to take that stable out. Unless we're completely wrong, and maybe we see a Zook all-in, maybe we see a classic QTC play. It could happen.
No.
It could happen. Our observer is pointing out, we already got the first 40 gold in. So this extra eco unit is actually just being a lot better than a regular villager right now.
And that stable getting dropped down tells us the story of what we're about to expect. Professional scouts being clicked right now. This thing researching at the speed of light, honestly. You can see that purple bar. It's growing faster than anything I've ever seen in this damn game. And it's going to cause Demu to have that early pace and force Beasty to make that Ghazi pretty early on and try to deny. Now, Ghazi is but one man on horse, and he needs to go find that scout and try to figure out where the deer might be taken from. Now, Demu can decide to play this very safe, which he most likely is going to do, because if he does go out far, the Ghazis can punish quite significantly.
Yeah, Beasty is scouting out which deer pack will be taken first. Tries to be a little bit annoying, be a little bit of a pest, but Demu's pro scout is already finished. Now Beasty, he will try to target fire down the deer, so it's not as easy to shift you through them in the fog. And the Ghazi's here to deal with the scouts. Demu's answer is already coming. There's the barracks going up.
And that's the problem with China. China's just so good at getting these things up so fast. And now you can instantly just put the IO on it if you want to. Get those spearmen out at the speed of light. The Chinese doesn't mind. They might be slowed down for a second, but there's another deer pack that they can be heading towards. And with the 4 scouts, he's going to force Beasty to split up that army, which he probably doesn't want to do. But you see those 4 scouts right now. They're a little bit confused about where they need to go. They know where the deer pack is. Beasty has gone back to the OG deer pack, and now those 4 scouts are looking at the top one. But it looks like those Ghazis want to cut them off.
It's a really nice delay play here by Beasty. Just having 4 Ghazis out there, putting so much pressure on the scouts that they can't go out and take more deer, just because they both spawned in the same direction. And he can't go out until his spears arrive. Beasty, though, we've seen the archery range come up. He will have his answers to the spears soon. We see the Imperial examinations going up, so the IOs can actually carry more gold. And he already has 3 of them, so mass supervision, mass taxes.
He knows that the taxes bring the money, and the money is how you get all them units. Demu, though, 6 spearmen, they're definitely gonna bother these Ghazis quite a bit. And you see Beasty now adding in archers.
7 spears already on the map for Demu, and Beasty's just gonna run rings around him, trying to get at the scouts, maybe trying to idle out the gold. He's moving towards the back of the Delhi base, of the Chinese base here, and Beasty, 2 archers out so far, none other queued. What's his answer? His pro scout will soon finish, and his sanctity is already done. And we see the first. Oh my God! We don't see the first villager kill of the game. The guy survives. He's completely fine, nothing happened.
You know, that villager is going to be staying very close to the TC after this. That man is not going to go anywhere dangerous. He knows his limits. But now with those archers, Beasty's numbers are going to start looking scarier and scarier, because we can see Demu now starting to get some horsemen himself. But he did get a few deer home, so he's probably okay with that feeling. But he knows he needs to get a little bit more, and Beasty has done a great job at denying that. His own professional scouts now coming in too, but he only has one scout, so this is not going to be as urgent of a matter as it is for Mr. Demu.
I'll say this, we've got almost 40 units on the field right now. Not already counting the scholars in there, but destroyed value is 0. Nothing died yet. Nobody took any losses. And as I stated, I jinxed Demu. I'm very sorry about this. Archers connect with the spears and take the first one down. We do have an attack ping in the back of the base for China on the gold.
Yeah, now Beasty finally drawing first blood. We see destruction value 120. Finally some spearmen hitting the ground. We see a little bit of an idle set of villagers there for Mr. Beasty. So probably focusing on denying those deer and not realizing that one of the resources just ran out.
Nice surround there on the scouts, gets the first one for free. And all 3 sacred sites have been captured while Beasty ramps up the scout play and tries to steal the deer for himself. Now Demu, he did get the first pack entirely, and he will be heading out to the second one. But those sacred sites ticking, they are an issue for him. And right now he does not have the military to deal with it.
And even though the sacred victory is very unlikely now, it does put that little bit of pressure onto your opponent that, hey, I need to make a play for this. And to make a play for this, you do need to split some of your military units apart. You can't try to take a fight on with Delhi when the scholars are just there to heal them back up. We see the boys are already standing in position, but the horseman number is quite scary from Demu. Now, my question is just, does he have enough food to sustain this for another, let's say, 2 minutes? Or is that firepower going to start running out? Because I don't think he got any of Beasty's deer.
Oh no, he did not get any of the deer from the Delhi Sultanate, unfortunately for him. And he did try to go for his own second deer pack and got denied. He got like 2 deer off of there. Beasty, meanwhile, adding in both blacksmith there to catch up in the upgrade department, and he'll do so quite quickly. Already has 10 scholars going, even though some are on the field healing. And yeah, Beasty's just gonna stand in the middle there and take a look to the sides, reacting just proportionally to deal with horsemen going for decaps.
And you see this, Beasty doesn't have any villagers on gold. All the gold he has, he's spending again on scholars, because that's what he's getting from the sacred sites, and the sacred sites are paying off for him right now. So the military upgrades are almost there. He's probably going to want to wait for this, because Demus is about to kick in. Those Gaza Raiders need to be careful. They do get a little bit of a tiny charge in, but the horseman's surround is going to make this quite annoying to get out, especially when the hard counter units are following right behind.
Oh, Demu almost gets a surround on 2 of the Ghazi there. He can catch that one scout if Beasty's not careful. Yeah, no way the guy makes it away. Nice catch there, but the archers will now join the fight. Spears need to be careful. He cannot over-engage here, but Horseman Spear is an A-move composition. He just needs to run at Beasty's face, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Trying to get through to the archers there, find a connection. Gets a little bit of a surround. Scholars have already been pulled out of the mosque to heal up, and looks like Demu still going strong with his horsemen. Ghazi numbers are falling, spears are still going, but the heal at the front, you can see, it's going great, and Beasty will be able to hold this quite easily.
It feels like Demu overcommitted here a little bit too much. Beasty instantly putting those villagers back into the TC to help with that arrow fire, just allowing him to clean up this army quite a bit. And now the problem is, we've all played against Delhi. We know what it looks like when those arch numbers reach this mass. And those scholars, they're really, really scary. We have 12 in queue right now, and that's just telling you how much gold this man has. Again, with not even touching his own gold. Those sacred sites are supplying a whole army. Now
Demu's cooking.
He's cooking castle. He's cooking it. He's cooking it quite hard. He's trying to decap these sacred sites. He does have that little bit of a presence on the map right now, but with him going for castle pretty soon, we have to ask ourselves, what is he going to do with castle? What can he realistically do getting castle against the units that he's up against? So we can see the food is starting to be a little bit of a struggle here. Yeah. He's run out of his D in his base. He's back on the berries. The villagers there now being pushed off of it as well.
Beasty smells at advantage, can almost guess that Demu is going for the castle age play, and so he's going to move aggressively towards the mill. That is Demu's entire food income right now.
The problem with those villages are it's not just about them staying alive, it's about them just running around doing absolutely nothing. We can see now Demu was thinking about castle, but he's already gone back to making units. And the problem for China is you're up against the Delhi. You're up against the Delhi with a lot of scholars. So even if you do a little bit of damage, it's not going to be enough. You need to go for the kill on every single unit you can.
I thought his position was quite nice here, but now look at what Beasty's cooking. With Demu not going to Castle Age, and Beasty will be able to go there momentarily. He's almost up in the food department, and he can now pressure Demu's food still, who's forced to go to the back berries. Demu needs to take this fight. If he cannot defend these berries, he'll be in for a world of hurt because all of his food will be gone. And Beasty going behind this fight is going to Castle Age. Nice fight here for Beasty. Still, the archers are strong, and we have the horseman numbers falling for Demu. This is not looking great. Reinforcements are very close by, and Demu's just trying to, well, stay alive.
We see that mass of villagers running
40 vills idle.
They are dreaming, but they're dreaming about the next game. Because these guys have nothing to do right now.
Done deal.
It shows you exactly what Beasty's composition change here did. He mixed in a few spearmen here to handle those horsemen, and it just turned that fight into his fight. Villagers now getting into the TC, trying his best. House of Learning coming up, and Demu, he might be able to clean these up eventually, but there's a lot more damage done for him. And Beasty is not looking at slowing down. We can see him getting that siege engineering now as well. He's looking at closing this out, but with the amount of archers,
Also
nothing's getting cleaned up.
And yeah, you can see Demu immediately moving the hand towards the side to tap out.
Demu definitely did put up a pretty decent fight there in the early game, but that's the problem when playing against Delhi. It's so easy to just lose your hold, and then the Delhi will overwhelm you. Beasty, the mouthful, thinking about the next game, and Demu, he's cooking. This man, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. We'll see what he can do to take Beasty down. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is the winner's match, so the one that wins here, they obviously go through to our final bracket, and both of these guys are very strong contenders to do so. Definitely the favorites in the group to make it out, but we'll definitely see if Demu can do the same to his next opponent if this doesn't go his way. But hey, he definitely has a good shot at taking down Mr. Beasty when it comes to these games here. But guys, we have China that's now out already, and China is a pretty big civ to not take a W with. We can also see that was his first pick, Civilization. This was not a big, this was not a small feat for Beasty to take down Demu's China.
Do you see that matchup? That's a bad matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have HRE Malians. Now, why do you say this is a bad matchup, Mr. Askela?
Okay, you're a Mali enjoyer. I know that you're also an HRE enjoyer. So how do you feel about being in the loading screen as a Malian and you see that HRE logo pop up?
I feel that I need to do damage pretty early on.
No despair. No. Let's go next. Why?
I feel that both of these players, there are a lot of counter civs, sure, but I feel like this is not already won in the big screen.
Oh no! Like
definitely not with
definitely,
these two.
there's a lot of potential here to make big plays, especially in the Pro Scout meta. If you can sneak out enough food, that like you're golden. But it is definitely an uphill battle because HRE just has that much more tempo than Mali. Mali is just a little slow to get going, and you have the extra lance connect special unit. Oh, we hear a game.
It sounds like we're going on in. Guys, they're already ready for a lot of action.
Scared for Demu.
Scared for Demu, but I am confident that Mr. Demu has something up his sleeve. Now, as I say that, I see Beasty as being a little bit cheeky here, going for a little bit of a disgusting opening. But Demu, he smelled this already, getting himself a nice little outpost on that gold.
I do love me some Dark Age barracks. That tower, though, it might not completely protect all of the houses if you stand on the far left corner without the arrow slits. So Beasty might find still some damage. And, you know, the tower is not going to shoot if you don't have units inside. But yeah, it's a good answer to the HRE rush that you're obviously expecting. He did not scout it as far as I can see. It's just a blind counter. Yeah. as our observer points out, there should have been more houses, and there is one more house going up. So at least he'll be able to get that under the protection of his tower.
We see that he moves it towards the TC because he knows to get that tower to actually do a little bit of work, he's going to need to put someone inside of it. And you probably don't want to idle your scout or your villagers that early in the game. But getting the mining camp there is an absolute big brain move here from Demu, because that will mean your villagers are going to be so close to the tower, they're barely going to lose any movement speed when they're trying to go back and forth between the mining camp and that tower. Now the spearmen being quite annoying, just their presence is already going to make this a little bit more annoying for Beasty, but I want you guys to think about this. This doesn't delay HRE too much. Just like Demu won't be delayed too much by getting that tower. But, oh my god, I was about to talk about something, but no, Beasty is tower.
This is the delay part. This is the annoying part. Here comes a counter tower. As we know from a million Mongol games and getting tower rushed 1,000 times, you cannot counter towers with towers because they'll just walk to a different angle and put it up so you can no longer mine gold. Now, Mali pit mines mine it automatically, so that's a nice bonus, but Demu will not be able to do something about this tower right now.
Now, this does delay Beasty a bit more, because now he had to get that extra load of wood to get that tower back up. He's got a villager all the way out here in Malian space, so he definitely has invested quite a bit here. Now, the Mansa Quarry being built with 6. Now, usually when you see a Mansa Quarry being built with 6, you know this is more about getting it done and getting it done fast. Because that guy, once it's done, you're thinking about getting your archers or whatever other unit your heart desires. But
it's not as undesirable as you make it out to be, because the Mansa Quarry also produces resources per minute. It is actually quite nice to have it out faster.
Pretty early.
We're not quite sure where the sweet spot is. I know that B builds it with 8.
But
yeah,
look at
a
lot of things with a lot of villagers.
I know. Look at the mine work coming up. So how do you feel about this landmark choice? No Aachen Chapel in the back. It's just a cheaper blacksmith.
Now, guys, I honestly did not have this on my bingo cards. Yes, Order of the Dragon, we see the mine work, but have we seen this from HRE in a very long time? No, unless you're burger rushing your opponent. This is a very rare landmark to see out in the wild, but guys, you are here, you get to see it live. And honestly, what more could we ask for?
Well, if you're Demu, you could ask for dropping down an archery range right now. We'll see how he reacts to this. Doesn't have the wood as we speak. He is already in the back there. Of course, he's slightly delayed. It's almost 5 minutes in, and he's putting up the first mill. Will we see the Pro Scouts? Will we see an archery range or a stable open?
Oh, and he goes for the Pro Scouts. Now, guys, you might be asking yourself, oh, the Pro Scouts? That's the normal player, right? But now he's invested so many resources into getting Pro Scouts. This delays his archery range if he so decides. Or in this case, he might probably even go for a stable here because he wants to get those deer out. But that's the problem. You as Malians, you have very limited gold now. Once that pit mine goes down, you're going to be struggling quite a bit. And as our observer is pointing out, you're going to be running out of houses pretty soon. Mansa Quarry on
swapped
the
it to stone. Interesting.
You're getting that tall outpost reinforced, making sure that the villagers might be able to grab something here and there.
Oh, look, it's HRE Pro Scouts. Are you surprised?
No. But I'm excited for it, though. See, on a map like Gorge, the Arcane Chapel, it feels like there's a little bit of forgiveness here. Because with the that villager, he's is he going to be able to build it? Yes, it is just barely out of range. Arrow slits are not in time here. So yeah, nice going for Demu here. He's still going to get a decent income from that pit mine. And Beasty can't do a whole lot about it as long as those arrow slits are up. But it feels like Beasty's units are now going to be able to start surrounding those deer packs. We see he's already thinking about it too. He's already made a few of his scouts, and Demu now producing scouts of his own. Now, again, with those scouts coming out, that delayed the archery range, and this is also going to just... I feel like the tempo here is a little bit Monka-esque right now. You can see the scouts being rallied right to the front of the base here, trying to get those deer as close to him as possible, because the food might run barren a little bit sooner than expected. Now, what I was talking about on Gorge, I think there's a very sweet spot with Gorge, because with your Arcane Chapel, you usually want to get as many resources as possible. But you also have prelates. Prelates can do exactly that. You just need to put them in like one singular position, and they can get most of what you
villagers
need.
per prelate, and it is definitely worth to get additional ones. Though Beasty currently is very busy spending his resources in other ways. Got the early pro scout still pumping out spears. I do like the cheeky play that he's sending his initial Dark Age spears up there, now upgraded to the feudal version, and sitting on those deer packs already for scouting information and for damage. And these HRE spears, they're actually faster, a lot faster than the Malian warrior scouts when they carry the deer.
Well, those are going to make it a little bit harder to pick these up, but he does sneak a few of them out with those archer follow-ups from Demu. Really smart move here. He's getting the unit to deal with, you know, the things that are going to give him a hard time. Those scouts, though, they don't like their deer getting stolen, and they're going to fight back. But the spearman sees the archers and decides, I am not going to be fighting that too eagerly. The scout, though, we see him doing so much damage. He does drop the carcass and picks it right back up. Beasty says, that's mine, brother. I'm taking it home.
Successful heist number 1. And meanwhile, he's also taking his side deer from all the way from the bottom. Nice play by Beasty here. And he's going into a form of tri-comp. We see spears, we see archers, we see horsemen being added. And Demu, he currently has no answer to the horsemen at all. We do see the barracks being prepared, but it is currently idle. We just see some archers and, of course, 6 warrior scouts on the field.
Now, it feels like Demu is investing in a lot of production buildings here, so it does allow him to do a pretty quick switch if needed. But the only thing that's missing in this whole shenanigans is the food. So he needs to find a way to get enough food, and he does. He does. With the archer mass that he has here, Beasty has delayed the pickups, but the warrior scouts are going to be able to go and get their loot and carry it back home.
Yeah, looks to be a pretty even split, minus that one deer that Beasty stole. Everyone gets their own deer camp, and that will be that. Unless Beasty has other plans for us, moving his army to the top side, going to be able to intercept those scouts on the way back and pushing Demu's reinforcements into the base. Also going to be able to stop that blacksmith from going up. Archers just walking into Beasty's army, and there is no answer to the horsemen that are just right on top of it. Archer numbers also really good for Beasty here. And yeah, Demu is just going to be losing a lot here.
Now we can see those scouts are desperately trying to get by and deliver those deer carcasses there. He had a Donzo. The Donzo fell to the archer mass here from Beasty. Those spicy HRE archers, they love attack moving, and they've got upgrades. So even if you were going to be able to do something against them, they weren't going to last very long anyway.
Yeah. We see the first Donzos being added, and no javelin throwers just yet, and that is for a simple reason, because they cost a lot of gold. There's the first one, and Demu's gold is still being under tower fire constantly. Nice sneaky snipe there on the scout from HRE, and yeah, Beasty's army is just gonna sit on top there, and then he's gonna steal the deer.
He knows that the food numbers are running low, and denying this deer is more valuable than just killing units. So he's willing to sacrifice a few of these, and he's getting a few men-at-arms in the mix. I don't know about you, Askelav, but if I get a few men-at-arms in my base and I'm not prepared for them...
This is looking real rough for Demu. They're going to be... This looks like a full feudal play. You also see that a nice yellow dot moving on the eastern gold there all the way on the hill to prevent the second pit mine. Demu is just going to be boxed in.
And he's going to have a lot of questions for himself. Where am I going to put my houses? As we can see, right at the back, where they're safe and I'm not going to lose things. He's trying to get that gold back. He realizes this is quite important for him. So he does pull back, loses a scout in the whole shenanigans. That tower definitely has given his worth. And he
Not a lot of burn power for Demu here, though. Doesn't have a whole lot of melee here, but he moves a lot of villagers on the gold there. Knows all of his unit compositions depend on him having either a lot of gold or a lot of food, because if push comes to shove, he can build cows, train cows. What do you do with cows? Do you...
You farm cows.
You breed cows, I think.
Well, no, not in this case. No,
okay.
no cows get bred in our game. We just buy
that's
them
fair.
and we
I
put
see.
them in
I
the
see
ranches.
the screaming red counter there on the side that says, "Well, Demu, please make cows."
Now, the problem is, if he dares invest in a singular cow, that just means that the army of Beasty is going to get scarier and scarier as he assumes that. I want you guys to notice the resource counter there on the left side. Beasty, he's making units, but he has something else in mind. While Demu, on the other hand, he is just trying to spend every bit of resource he can to try and fight this army knocking at the front of his base. Now, with Demu having all these on gold, he's trying to get a lot of it, and we'll see what he's going to do with this, because he doesn't have that cow income. His food is running low. He needs to try and find a way to sustain himself out of this.
Yeah, Demu now forced to go into the mass javelin throws. They will do fairly decently if Beasty plans to push with veteran archers here. They'll also do a lot of base damage against the man-at-arms, so the extra armor does not matter as much. But yeah, Beasty has a great tempo going here with the Regnitz Cathedral. Relics will be snatched up soon, and we do have the second pellet already out. I'm assuming he's going to be moving towards the relics soon.
And Chris, I feel like we missed a very important moment in that cast, and that was Cow observing, seeing his own kind getting slaughtered, gathered, and looking away very slowly as to just spoil, you know.
I just heard very sad music in my head.
Yeah, I don't know. Those poor cows were slaughtered. They're not putting them in any camps, and if they were, they would have been giving food for eternity. But now, Beasty is aged up. He says, I'm going to go get some relics, and after the relics, I'm actually planning on just putting my prelates where they need to be, inspiring my units, and then I'm going to kill you. Now, Demu, we can see he stopped spending as much of his resources. He's floating a bit. And is that going to be for a castle? But I feel like Malians, another one goes down. Cattle carcass under the TC. We're all watching it. Cow shaking his head, completely disappointed in his fellow Scandinavian, King of the North, actually. Demu was the King of the North.
Well, if your king decides that your fellows have to die, well, I best we say we rebel. But let's take a look if those javelin throwers can make a hold here. Mali has to play it like a little bit of a bait and switch. Just have to step out, take some pot shots, pull back again. But look at the relics.
Askeladd, is this going to be a spicy landmark? The only time we're going to see this landmark, are we going to see a little bit of a Farimba? Because I see a lot of javelin throwers. I see 0 cows in camps. I feel like the most obvious answer here is Demu is going to be cooking something we don't usually get to feast on. And Beasty sacrificing a few units at the cost of gathering all the relics on the map. Very, very deep price to pay.
It's a decent trade-off, I'll say.
He still has one left. Still needs to find the last, but we see most things are on their way. And 4 prelates, they can't carry 5 relics at the same time, but if they could, oof, they would be happy, happy boys. Farimba gets chosen, and that tells you Demu is cooking. Now, not having any cows in his camps just means that you don't have that passive food income. It doesn't give you any benefit to go for the other landmark. Farimba, on the other hand, if you get Javelineers with 21 javelins, you might have a shot at pushing this army back, even if just a little bit. But Beasty's attacking before this thing finishes.
He's picking the perfect moment now. Mali upgrades, they are faster than usual. Demu will sacrifice some villagers just to get this up. 2, 3, 4 go down, 5 go down, and immediately pulls back. And we do see the Manza Javelineer being researched right now.
Now that's a lot of sacrifices that were made for the army. The villagers, though, they're a little bit spook-magook. They're running for their lives, but the armor...
Poison jabs are through. They're now faster and stronger, and we do see the veteran upgrade on the way.
Beasty, I feel like he's done his damage. He's causing this idle time, and the villagers that are not idle, technically, are just running for their lives. The javelins are doing a great job at target firing this. But what happens after that with Beasty on 5 relics and no food in the base? Demu has a lot of questions to ask himself, and honestly, those javelins need to perform miracles right now.
If this was just an even eco fight and we would just be watching a regular skirmish outside of the base, I would say Demu is fine. Demu will be able to clean this up. Still has a lot of jabs left over after this, but as you say, we have the 5th relic for HRE coming towards the base. This is by no means even at all. Look at the villager kill numbers. There's 34 dead. The archers have just dove into the town center and onto the gold mine. And yeah, I'll say it right now. There's no coming back from this. Demu knows it, Beasty knows it, and yeah, they'll just mentally prepare for the next game.
They're already dead, Askelon. They're already dead. Beasty, stop. There's nothing left of this man. 17 idols, 17 total. And they're just sitting in that TC, hoping to fire. Is Beasty going to be screaming that last Warlord law to just, you know, tell Demu, hey, man, I've got them all. No need.
Oh God.
That, as a famous man once said, was a distraction. And honestly, sure, Beasty did get the civilization that was going to be able to deal with
Draft wins are
anything.
wins too.
Draft wins are definitely wins. The Farimba, I felt like it definitely had its potential, but Beasty attacking at that right moment just put him in such a position that I don't know if there was going to be any answer to it. Even aging up on the other side, it feels like Beasty was ready for it. He knew when to attack, he knew when to do the damage, and he knew the state of the resources.
Yeah, Demu was already so delayed. The tower rush on the forward goal that he unfortunately had. Then he just had no way to get a second pit mine up ever. And Beasty catching those scouts on the way back, making Demu lose even more food that Beasty then took. It's just the volatile matchup with the pro scouts. It can just swing it just like that. Oh my God, thank you. Hell yeah.
Twitch chat, I am so sorry for what you're about to experience today. This was supposed to be a family-friendly channel, and I did not foresee a Mongol pick coming through in this series. Now, Demu, getting that Byzantines up. Now, the question is just the spawn. Does Demu get the worst spawn of his life, gold berries right next to one another, or does he get a nice separated one where Tower Rush won't cause too much harm?
Now, as you so kindly pointed out, if your gold happens to spawn to the backside and your berries spawn next to it, and your opponent has to go all the way around, which delays him, which puts him more at risk, which forces him to expose themselves, and then he also pulls 2 villagers for you to conveniently kill with your better timing, not that they're slower. So yeah, that would be beautiful if you're the Byzantines. Welcome in to the 3rd game. Beasty's on match point as the Mongols. We've got Demu in the Nova spawn. Now let's take a look at this spawn as we see the berries and the gold on the same direction, top side. And unfortunately for him, they're close together and they are fairly exposed. But the wood line is decently placed and he's gonna be putting the winery forward. Now, there we have the first villager moving across already. Demu will expect this to happen. And yeah, as our observer points out, there's a beautiful tower spot right in between the berries and the gold. Demu choosing to go for the I am just going to age up quickly and, well, try to delay the tower with Akritoy. You can force a cancel once with Akritoy, and in 30 seconds it will run out. And then, depending on your timing, you will be in trouble. Demu scouts out the villager. But 3 spears are already on the way.
Now that villager is a little bit of an aggressive boy we see here. He knows his army is going to follow him straight after, and he doesn't mind putting that tower down. Now, with Demu,
he sees the gold and he immediately replaces the tower a little.
Now, with that gold, you have the spearmen that can cut these off pretty well. They do need to run around to get back. And deletes that mining camp instantly. Getting that delete on the mining camp, he didn't get the gold, of course, but that is now just telling you, okay, Demu's got the gold he's got, and that's it.
Yeah.
So let's just look at that spawn. We do have a gold on the other side as well, so there might be some plan Bs and Cs. But what Demu isn't doing is he isn't aging up with too many vills. You can see he's trying to capitalize on the fact that he's got that cistern, giving that bonus to the wood. And we see now him getting his own barracks instead. No archery range plays here at all.
Yeah, we talked about the Limited A not being the greatest choice in Dark Age because of the increased cost. But in Feudal Age, you actually have a nice option to burn down the tower with your shield wall ability. You don't need as many as you usually would as another Civ. You can just go for that spear rush on top of the tower. But yeah, Beasty's gonna be happy with how this is going. His villager is gonna immediately go home, and he can actually just start to burn the winery and pressure even more right there outside of TC range. And without the archery range, well, Demu will have to make enough. Did I say that villager is going home?
Yes, but Beasty is not the kind of guy who sends the villager home. He's the kind of guy who tries to find, where do I go next? This man has already traveled across the lands. There's no way he decides to just turn back and do something else. He is going to go turn around and try to deny another food source. The deer stone's now being clicked up from Beasty, being built with 5, no rushing for him. But the Limited A are slowly going to start coming out. Now, he's already gotten those upgraded, but getting enough of them to actually kill those spearmen from Beasty is going to take quite a while.
This is so dangerous for Demu. Oh, he just barely sees the tower. What a lucky shot. The thing is, his eyes just moved past Beasty's base. Beasty knows where Demu's scout is, and he didn't expect this tower to be found. It just places it just a little bit too far forward, and the melee charge of the Limited A are trying to catch it out. That villager is desperately running towards the outpost on the other side, and never mind, melee charge ran out. He might make it.
That poor villager is running for his life. The Limited A look like they want to go for blood, though.
2 more pokes. No, just the 1 poke. 6 damage is sufficient right there. And yeah, Beasty pulled back. Cannot finish the second tower. That 1 tower, though, is already quite enough because the winery is still useless to Demu.
Now, with Demu having that winery under duress, he's definitely going to need to think about, hey, what am I doing with all these Limited A that I've now invested in? Beasty has that choice now. Hey, do I go for Keshiks? Do I go for archers? What is my next play? And this is usually the most exciting part about Mongols. Do you just keep going for the push? Or do you try and be a little bit greedy behind this? But with the Spearman upgrade coming in...
Oh, Demu pulls a lot of villagers here. Wants to burn the tower, will activate the Akritoy defense there. You see the spears going up on the villagers. As soon as those spears pop out, Beasty will try to snipe some vills there. One already dropping low, first one goes down, and the tower is still full health. It's not gonna last long, but let's see if it can find another one. 2 vills dead, this is rough. So Beasty lost 1 on the approach there on the second tower, but Demu losing 2 here. This tower rush was worth, and Byzantines is very much delayed. Beasty already going into archers behind this.
Now, luckily for Demu, this is now his chance to claim back that oil he so desires. The Khan standing behind, being a little bit annoying here. Now, that is not a lot of damage the Khan is doing, but this Khan is setting himself up for success. He's setting himself up for a few successful charges coming there to the back.
We do see a Khan Hunter also being queued up, so Beasty's definitely going to go into a little bit of a range composition here. And I do wonder, where are our markets situated? They're not bad for trading. So far, we don't see anything like that. Beasty will just continue to apply pressure to the Byzantines. Because if you leave them alone, then the oil might just be running all over you. We have the second order level, and we do have the Western contract for the longbows coming in.
Now, with the longbow joining the army, that is going to make it nice for Demu to actually deal with this very, very heavy composition from Mongols that is ranged for now. But as we know, the Khan Hunters, they kind of enhance these archers a little bit. So those aren't just normal archers, they're spicy archers, as I like to call them. So with that, with the longbows getting chosen, first set now queued up, I feel like you're still going to be struggling dealing with this huge mass coming from Beasty. Now, more archers being built, and we'll see what Beasty goes for after, because he's gotten his double broadaxe already. While Demu now, on his gold, he can slowly start thinking about those upgrades, getting wheelbarrow first.
Demu's on poor Limited A here, trying to go for the surround on the spear line at the front. Beasty just pulling back a few there, but the archers are already working on the Limited A, and you can see the counter system is working beautifully. Khan Hunter is also there, and once again, the berries are denied. There is no second set of longbows on the way.
Now, that was just showing the power of Limitane, because any other spearman would have crumbled under that. A lot of damage going towards those Limitane, but they took quite a punch with those shields that they were ready to face.
Do you see that beautiful yellow landmark right in front of the Byzantine base?
And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got your steering wheels ready, because we have a Deer Stones right at the front, ready to face off against an army. Now, this provides a little bit more movement speed, and we'll see if Demu can snipe away a few units with those 5 longbows that he has ready. Beasty now getting +1 range, so he's looking at cleaning some things up.
Getting slightly worried for Demu here. Yes, the fact is, Limitane are good at soaking up arrow fire. And if you get a connection on the unit, spears will still be able to kill archers. But, oh, Beasty just moves in, kills 2 with the Khan Falcon there with the full vision. And that tower is going up again. And Demu still has vision.
That is showing exactly the type of guy Beasty is. He's going to keep going the moment he gets control. And Beasty, now, with that Khan, you just constantly allow for yourself to get that vision.
Oh, here comes the next dive, and they just take one off. It's already 5 villager kills. Yeah, Demu's in for dire straits here, and he's boxed into his base. Again, he must feel very familiar about this by now. No, the tower can shoot over the wood line with the vision from the Falcon. Takes another villager out there.
And Demu is asking himself now, how do I get resources back? I need to find a way to try and make units to handle this. He gets more Limitane because he knows Limitane, they trade pretty decently. But the amount of archers from Beasty, this is just going to make it so difficult. He's got +1 range defense, and he's hoping to survive a little bit longer.
Another Vil bites the dust. 2 Vils more down. Beasty just poking in with the extra movement speed and the extra range. Khan Hunter being left behind, but no, longbows cannot get in range. Demu has to bank it all on the second set of mercs coming out. As soon as he has 10 longbows, he'll have to make something work here. Or Beasty's just gonna push him off of those berries again.
Very confident from Beasty. And as I say that, I realize I keep saying berry because with Byzantines, that's all you care about. Beasty, though, he has denied everything he can, and Demu is just desperately trying to get some resources back. We see this is starting to become harder and harder for Demu to mine. And Beasty behind this, he gets to make some other decisions. We see some towers getting reinforced. We see more units coming forward. Now going to be 31 archers riding right towards his base.
Oh, nice move by Demu there. He catches out the Deer Stone, but at the same time, he cannot stay around here because he only has the 10 longbows. We see up to 30 archers. He would have to stick one of his spears on top of the Deer Stones to prevent the speed aura from coming in. But these guys are already sped up because there's a tower in the back, and now they just kite with the extra range. You see the Khan Hunter hanging out at the back. Limitane are falling like flies, and Demu's just doesn't know what to do here.
And I don't think there is an answer for him. The longbows are trying their best to make something happen, but it's almost impossible with those archers being reinforced. The Khan living his best life, screeching arrows every time he can. Limitane trying to block off a few, but the archers have their eyes set on these longbows. They know what they need to get rid of, and they're doing exactly that. Khan finally goes down, but Beasty says it's worth it. I'm going to be stacking on a few extras of those, and a total of 12 villages, 13. Demu has had enough, and Beasty makes this a convincing 3-0.
Mongols, baby. Tell you.
No, this is not the Mongol play that I think most people predicted, but it was the aggressive one. And with Byzantines getting that side spawn, it makes it a lot harder to counter. Now, Beasty looking quite convincing in this tournament. And we'll see if he can keep this up now that he's advanced all the way through. And Demu still has to fight for victory against Baltoon and Voldemort.
Yeah, Demu is now going to be fighting for his advancement spot, while Beasty is confidently moving on towards the playoffs. And yeah, I'll say this: Mongols just carry him to victory. It's purely obvious what the best civ in the game is right now.
The Mongols, right?
Well,
right?
no,
Twitch chat.
it's Sushi and Roos because you can see
Yeah,
they
yeah,
never
of
they're
course,
never
they're getting
played
banned.
because nobody lets them through.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
maybe they aren't because we never see them.
Maybe people just don't know how to play against them anymore because they always get banned. But the man, the beast, has... Oh, I thought he has arrived, but no, he did not arrive. I just saw things out of the corner of my eye. Wait, I just foretold it. The man has arrived.
No. This time,
This
before
time?
I'm gonna get off of this cast because someone put some ears on me, and you can have the interview.
So, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm holding the headset of dreams, Beasty is joining us here for his winner's interview. Let me help. This is a very intricate situation. Yeah. So, how did you feel going into this and out of this in a convincing 3-0? Did you expect that?
I mean, I feel pretty good. Obviously, you gotta be confident. Hope to win,
Yeah.
or think you're gonna win at least. So you just play your best. And my goal for stage matches is to just go all out.
Yes.
And a lot of players, maybe they trip up a little bit. They're nervous playing in front of people and stuff. So I just go full aggro, and I think this series worked out pretty well.
What about you? Who's your biggest opponent at this tournament? Who are you gonna face in the finals?
I mean, I think an obvious choice is Louis, right? So I'm super excited to play. I already told him I can't wait to play against him. I think it's gonna be fun without lag for him and me, right? So it's not just one-sided thing. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. I haven't seen how he plays on stage yet because I don't know if he played on stage yet. So I think that's gonna be pretty exciting to see how well he does, and if he gets to the finals. We'll see how he manages the stress and how he does all that. But I'm definitely going to be putting a lot of pressure on him.
I can imagine. I don't think you want to allow Louis to get to play his game with walls and
wall empty.
Wall empty. Oh, that's a nice one. It's like CGQT, but true.
Right.
But true. Yeah. So now, really excited to see what you pull up for the rest of the things. Do we have any fun strategies we're going to be seeing on ladder after this tournament that you've been cooking?
I mean, I played Mongol. Like, come on, guys. Do you know what I mean? I think I've done my work here.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, to be fair, fun strategies. I mean, I was kind of thinking about it, but then what if you lose a game and then you get a bad matchup and suddenly you're out, So I don't want to goof around too much.
Especially not in best of fives. I feel like with best of five, they can quickly snowball out of control. We've seen a reverse sweep here as well.
I was thinking about Villager pulling someone, but maybe a little bit too spicy.
Now, guys, you will be seeing Beasty on the caster desk in a little while the other two are setting up. But we'll be right back with more spicy games coming your way.